All right, so I think we can get started and we'll start with announcements, and I have a couple. So first, I want to congratulate Holly for achieving diamond rank. You've been busting your butt, and I know I've been chatting with you a lot too, and I'm just so excited for you. So congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And I love it though. Holly was like, I have to, she has on her mirror, like she wrote like achieve diamond or whatever you said. And then today she's like, now I need to change it and have it say keep diamond.
I do. I look in that mirror every day. And so I'm like, I see it every day. And it was so exciting. I have to like erase it and be like, keep it.
And set a new goal. Like that's the best feeling ever. That's so great. And then I also want to congratulate Sam for hitting Success Club this month. Woo!
Definitely.
Stop it. It's like you're halfway through the month. That's so kick buttish.
Yeah,
So
right.
yeah, those are my two announcements. Does anyone else have any announcements? Oh, I think April hit Emerald this past week too, right?
yeah.
So congrats to April. I don't know that she's on the call, but congratulations. I see Carrie looking. I don't know what she's trying to say.
She's high.
She's high on meds. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I said it. It's all good. Okay, so I'm going to jump right in. I'm really excited about this subject, and it's funny because I feel like I type out the topic for a call, and then as I prep for it, it evolves into something slightly different. So originally I was just going to talk about how to fit in the 3 vital behaviors, but I'm kind of now talking overall about time management because I think it's something that all of us struggle with because we see all these shiny objects and we want to do everything that we kind of forget or don't make time to do the basics. And it's doing the basics consistently that's really going to help us in the long run grow our business and always keep our pipeline full. So I put together 10 tips for time management. And I know all of us are so different. Like some of us are moms, some of us have full-time jobs making this work. So I really tried to put things together. Some of us have both. So I really tried to make this inclusive of everyone so everyone can leverage these tips. So the first one, and this is really important to do, you have to identify the thing that distracts you the most, that pulls you away from completing the task that you set out to do. So, you know, you have scheduled time that you're sitting down to do your business, and then all of a sudden you find yourself going off a path somewhere and not doing the thing that you set out to do in the first place. For me personally, it was the dinging on my phone. So I can't have my phone next to me when I'm working, or I have to have it on silent and promise myself I'm not going to open it. The other thing, so it's really any kind of notification. If there's a ding message notification on Facebook, if my computer's open, like I have to close out Facebook. So I'm not getting that. Kids, Cindy, I was thinking that too as I was preparing for this. And obviously we can't be like, kids, quiet down. Like that doesn't work. If a kid needs our attention, we're moms first. And like, you know, we have to take care of our kids. We have to be flexible in that way. But, and I talk about this a little bit later, I think that we can identify times during the day. You know, this is our business too, where we can schedule business hours, you know, and that this is mommy's time to work, whether that's early in the morning before the kids get up, if it's late at night after they go to bed, if it's, you know, sometime during lunch, you know, while they're busy eating, if it's nap time, something like that. Like, I think that we can somewhat have at least one time a day that is predictable that we can set business hours for. So, okay, we talked about that thing. Can you guys, just me saying that, the thing that pulls you away, does everyone know right away the thing that distracts them from doing the thing they set out to do? Like, are there always like dings and notifications or something that pulls you away? So that's number one. I'll skip right ahead to business hours since we already talked about that. Setting business hours is literally, oh, go ahead. reading.
Sorry, I had a thought that went along with what you were saying,
Mm-hmm.
because I knew I struggled with this. It wasn't sometimes always a thing, like a notification or Facebook or whatever. It would almost be a distraction to get out of my own head, and just overthinking things and focusing my energy too much on wanting to achieve something so badly that I created like a choke on it. So that can quickly become a distraction too. So that's all.
No, that's a really, really good point. It's a very good point. So with setting business hours, you know, whether you're a mom, not a mom, I think that having a predictable time each day that you know you're going to sit down and work is really, really important, because otherwise you're just hoping that the time will come and you're trying to make something that might not be there, and then you push it off, and then it's the end of the day and it's like 10 at night and you're exhausted, and you can't be productive when you're exhausted. That's, you know, it's impossible to get stuff done that way. So find your best time, the time that's most convenient for you, the time with the least amount of distractions, and the time that you can literally just put your head down and work. And maybe that's not all at once. Maybe you have like 20 minutes in the morning, 20 minutes at lunch, and 20 minutes at night. Like, that's okay. It doesn't have, I know they talked about, and we're going to talk about this too, power hour. Your power hour, like, I'm sorry, I literally never have a power hour. It's more like a power 20 minutes, power 20 minutes, but that's okay. Like, you have to allow yourself to be flexible and not feel let down that you're not like crushing a power hour every day, because you have to be reasonable with yourselves. So setting business hours. The next thing I want to talk about is you really have to set the stage for productivity. And there's sort of like a few prongs to this that I wanted to mention. One, having a space to work at, and a clean space to work at. And this is a challenge sometimes for moms because our kids' stuff gets all over the place. But I have a space like in my kitchen. You guys see me in the same place talking every time, right? This is my space. It is a craft area throughout the day. It gets food splattered all over. But when I sit down to work at night, it's clear, it's organized, and it feels good to be in this space. And there's something to be said about that, I think, in our minds. As soon as we sit down, we're back in that work mode because we're in that space. Besides being in an organized workspace, I also recommend having your business in order. And by that, I mean, one of the things that was the biggest challenge for me, and it still is a challenge, but I'm working on some solutions for it. You start signing on all these customers, you start signing on all these coaches, you have leads going on, and they all like fall away from you. You're like, what challenge group was that person in? Oh my gosh, are they even in a challenge group anymore? Oh no, this person dropped off from Shakeology. I should have checked in with them. There are all these things that happen. So what I recommend doing is, I've been using Google Docs, and it's actually been working really well for me. You have a list of leads, you have a list of customers, and you have a list of coaches. For your list of leads, I highly recommend that you put down a date for when you spoke with them, and you write down what you spoke about. Because sometimes I remember saying, oh, did I talk about this person with PIO or 21 Day Fix? And then I'm going all the way back through the messages, trying to remember the conversation. That is a waste of time. If you already have a place where you're keeping track of this stuff, it's going to make it so much more smoothly, and it's going to save so much time. Same with your customers. What challenge group are they in now? Like, even talk about right in there, like, what were the dates of the challenge group, so you know once that challenge group ends, you can follow up with them and ask if they want to be in another challenge group. So it's going to help you with relationship management in that way. And it's just a place you can glance at quickly, and you know exactly where you are with each person. So that's what I mean by setting the stage in your business for productivity. It's going to save you so much time in the end, wasting your time going through like backfilled messages. And again, setting the stage for productivity, the last prong I want to talk about is having a calendar of important dates. So I have a calendar in my kitchen. I actually want to get a separate calendar too, to have a personal calendar and a business calendar. But I write down when my challenge groups are going to start, when my free group is going to start, and when my sneak peek is going to start. That's a cool form. Oh, that's good to know, Cindy. Thank you. Cool. And just having a calendar like that, it's a visual, because then I know, oh, my challenge group is going to start on this date. I'm going to start promoting it on this date. And it's just kind of a really good visual for you to have. And just having a visual, to me, makes me feel more organized, because things get lost in my head. I need it out there and not cluttered in here. So that's what I mean by setting the stage for productivity. Number 4, having a to-do list. And I learned a really cool tip from Chalene Johnson on this one. And I don't know if you guys listened to her podcast on time management, but it was really good. So if you haven't, definitely check that out. But what she says is that you're going to make a to-do list either at night or first thing in the morning. And it's whenever works for you. If you think better at night, do it at night. In the morning, that's fine. But what you do is you kind of have a brain dump. And you literally write down everything you want to do. But then you narrow it down to the top 3 things. And then your goal that day or that next day is to get those, you know exactly where you're going to put your focus. Because one thing I was wasting time on is, in the morning I have this space of time that I work because the babies have eaten, they're fed, and they play nicely. And this is every morning. So it's like a predictable time frame. But I found myself, for the first half of it, figuring out what I was going to do. And it was making me crazy. If I already know what I'm going to do, I can just start and I can just do it. So her recommendation, make that big to-do list, but then break it down to the top 3 things. And again, if you get to the other things, great, but otherwise, in just knowing those top 3 things, if you can check 3 things off your list, you're going to feel good about it too. Because if you have this big, long list that you really want to get done, and even if you checked off 3 of those things, you're going to say, gosh, there were like 15 things that I still didn't get to do. But if you highlight 3 things and you achieve those 3 things in the day, you're going to feel great about yourself. Like you really accomplished those top 3 things that are going to move your business forward. So on that note, number 5, having a posting plan. So I don't know if you all watched or listened to the Chelsea Pearson video, but this changed my world as far as posting, because she recommended using a posting calendar. And I'm going to screen share for a second. This might look familiar to those of you. Do you all see this? Thumbs up. Okay. This might look familiar to some of you who watched the Chelsea or listened to the Chelsea Pearson call, but basically she has a weekly posting plan, so she doesn't have to come up with what she's going to be posting about. And that can take a long time. So having that kind of consistent themes throughout your week and throughout your day can make planning ahead easier, because maybe you have a bigger block of time on Sunday where you can actually really sit down and make some good content, make some good images that you can utilize throughout the week, and you can plan it ahead of time. So this was very, very helpful to me, and I can send it to anybody who doesn't have it. And on that same note, leverage a posting scheduler. I like Postcron a lot. I've also used Buffer. Cindy and I were talking about this earlier. I'm actually going to invest in a monthly plan. I took a quick peek, and you can get a monthly plan for $5 to $10 a month. And in doing that, you can literally plan an entire month of challenge group posts. It's crazy the amount that you can post ahead of time. And especially with our challenge groups, guys, you're going to save time by posting ahead. And I know we don't want to take the personal touches out of it, but the truth of the matter is, if you have the post all taken care of, that gives us more time to actually interact with our coaches and with our customers and making sure things are going well, and checking on the posts and seeing what's going on in the comments, if there's any concerns or questions. So to me, posting ahead of time just is opening up more space for you to put your time and energy into what you need to be doing now and prioritizing in that way. Okay, so let's talk about Power Hour. So for those who are in the training boot camp, Heather put, what a typical Power Hour looks like. And I'm actually going to put my number 6 and 7 together because I have something called a Power of 3 checklist. I'm on a leadership board for diamonds and above, and Colleen Eddy, you guys have probably heard of Colleen Eddy. If you don't follow her, she's super awesome, and I just think she's inspiring. She shared a Power of 3 checklist that she had shared with her team, and I looked at it, and it works for me. So I'm going to show you really quickly. I did post in a page, but I can't remember which one. So let me share. And it is... Okay. Can everyone see that? Thumbs up. All right. So I love this so much. And what I'm doing, you guys know those clear, like, sheet protectors? This is a Pinterest thing that I did for some of Cole's books like a long time ago, but I'm utilizing it for my business now. I use a sheet protector. I print this out. I use a sheet protector. I have a dry erase marker. And so every week I can fill in my lines, and at the end of the week, I can erase it and use the same sheet over and over and over again. The reason I like this is because they're always saying, like, add people to your network, connect with new people not about Beachbody, invite to challenge groups, invite to coaching opportunity, follow up with this many people. And it just got overwhelming to me. This makes it so much more manageable. So for example, on Monday, you're going, this is what I do for my Power Hour. I sit down, and actually this could take less than an hour really, but I add my 3 people and I write their names down. And the other reason I like that I'm writing their names down is because now here comes Thursday, and these people accepted my friend requests, but I haven't even said hi yet because I forgot I added them. So this way I can remember who I'm adding, and I can start the relationship right away and start talking to them. Connections. These are the people that I'm reaching out to say hello, not even necessarily about Beachbody. A long lost friend that, I'm going to connect with and just chat with. Inviting. These are the people I'm inviting to my challenge groups. Maybe I've been connecting with them and forming with them for a while, and I'm ready to, see if they're wanting to join a challenge group. Follow-ups. And if you make a good to-do list, you could already know who you're going to follow up with, but these are people that maybe were leads and had committed to wanting to do a challenge group, but they haven't purchased yet, so you're going to follow up with them. The other reason I like this, presenting the business opportunity. Inviting 3 people a week sounds much more reasonable to me than inviting 3 people a day. I mean, honestly, let's be real here. So, you have this, you have your 3 people in the week, and you're good to go. And then, there's a little section underneath for your business non-negotiables. And you can kind of check those off as you go along. And I just think this is really, really helpful. And it makes me feel more organized and more productive because it's all in one place for the week. And I can always come back to this sheet and write down the people that I'm connecting with and adding to my network. Is that sheet helpful? Does anyone have a different system that they prefer or that they wanted to share that works for them? No? Okay. And the other reason I like that, having that kind of visual there, is because, like I said, my Power Hour is broken up throughout the day, probably 2 to 3 sections. So it's so easy to see what I've already filled out and then go back and not backtrack and try and figure out, ooh, did I add 3? Did I do this? So, and again, guys, if you do that consistently, you're going to build your pipeline. Like Sam just got a challenge pack sale today from someone that had mentioned they were interested a couple months ago, right, Sam? And they just never purchased the program. And today they purchased the program, 2 months later. So that's because she's been talking to people consistently.
Yeah, it just popped up. Like I had sent her all the info of how to order and she just never did it. And I sent her a follow-up and never responded. And then all of a sudden it popped up today that she ordered.
Yeah, I love that. 7 p.m. my phone. Yeah, exactly, Holly. See, like, I know it's frustrating sometimes some months because you're like, gosh, like, why are people not following through? They said they wanted to order, or, that's why when people don't answer, or even if they say no, it's really not a no, it's not right now. And as long as you're consistently doing these power hours, hey, Logan, and adding to your network, those kind of things are going to happen. So just keep that power hour. It's very, very important.
I went through my pipeline too when that 21 Day Fix sale came out.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone that I had talked to about 21 Day Fix, I sent them a note saying it was on sale, that they were going to get a free bag, and I made a new PDF showing them exactly what they'd get. And I was like, just want to let you know, I know we've been talking about this and it's on sale. And like that really, really helped. Like it's crazy. Like I would be at Success Club 14 right now if I didn't have to build to Diamond,
No,
So,
it's awesome. And I think that also goes to show that you knew who you were talking about in the past about 21 Day Fix, and to go back to that first, one of the things I was saying, to have that Google Doc of leads, of people that you're just chatting with about these programs, to know that you were talking about 21 Day Fix with them immediately and not having to sift through messages and emails will save you so much time. Because that's a daunting task. If you don't know who you've spoken with and about what, you could be sitting there like, okay, the program's on sale. Who did I talk to about this? I don't even know. I'm just going to talk to new people because I just don't even have the time to look back in my messages about this. So, I think it's important to stay organized in that way and to remember, to take note of what you're talking about with people. Okay, so that was 6 and 7 kind of together. All right, now this is going to go to Carrie's point, and I like this one a lot, and I use it, and it's great for me. I use a distractions pad. So this is mine right now, okay? And you can see that it is almost full, so I'm going to be getting a new one, and it's full of things. So what happens to me when I'm working is all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, this would be an amazing post. And I start thinking about it, and I remember a picture I took, and then I start editing the picture, and then before I know it, the babies are done playing, they're done napping, and I didn't get my power hour done. I didn't get the thing I wanted to do done. So distractions pad or an ideas pad, whatever you want to call it, you jot down that idea, and it's there, and you're going to remember it, and then you can go right back to your time focusing. It's kind of like a way to combat the shiny object syndrome. You can even do that. Let's say you're doing your work and you're like, uh-oh, like I was supposed to wash this t-shirt, or I was supposed to make a grocery list and I haven't done that yet. Instead of stopping what you're doing and making that grocery list, just write down, have a personal list going, a personal distractions list going, and write grocery list, or put pork in crock pot, or anything like that. Just put it down and then get back to what you were doing. Distractions idea pad. It's a great thing. So number 9 is a really important one that I've started implementing recently, and it's helped me a lot. Bookending your days with non-technology related things. I was literally like messaging like half asleep with people like, okay, and then I would, knock down on my pillow and go to sleep. Not the way to go. It is not a relaxing thing to do before you go to sleep. So now I will read a little bit before bed, or I put on some music lately, and I'll just lay there and just have some music going, and it's so nice and relaxing. And same thing in the morning. I was like, okay, baby's crying, time to get up. Let me grab my phone and check my messages. Not a good way to wake up, because immediately, first of all, if you did your to-do list that night before, all of a sudden your to-do list is getting messed up and you're going to be distracted because you're already thinking about the messages that people are sending you. And now that's becoming part of your to-do list. And it's just going to make you deprioritize. That's a good idea, Lisa. Deprioritize some of the things that you had already wanted to do. So definitely don't wake up and just start looking at your phone. take a few minutes, like get your personal things in order and your life in order, take a deep breath, listen to some music, have your cup of coffee, just don't jump right in. And if that means getting up a few minutes early, I'm telling you, it's so worth it. Okay, and the last one, and you're probably gonna be like, Lindsay, again, but do your personal development, honestly. Like never, I know in our busy lives that it's so easy to say, I don't need to read, or I don't need to listen to a podcast, I don't need to do this or that. But if you do that, if you take the time to take 10 minutes and read your personal development, maybe that's the thing you do just before bed instead of going through Facebook, looking at notifications, looking at messages. It's going to also make you more productive because your mind isn't going to be so cluttered with doubts and chaos and questioning yourself and questioning what you're doing, because you're just going to feel more at peace with everything in your life. So if you declutter internally, everything else is going to feel more decluttered as well. So if that means your 10 minutes before bed, if that means listening to a podcast in the car on your way to work, or driving a kid somewhere or something like that, like try really hard to get that personal development in, and I promise you it'll be worth it. So those are my 10 tips. I know I just shared a lot. I hope that even if a couple of those tips are helpful, I hope that they help you feel more productive. But I know we have about 8 minutes left, so maybe someone wants to share a challenge that they're having, and we can talk through that. So maybe someone else wants to share what we were talking about at first, the thing that you feel pulls them away. Like for me, messages, notifications, that's mine. Does anyone else have a different one? And kids, I know we talked about kids.
I kind of felt bad saying that, but my child. Today I started FaceTiming with Heather, and Jacob looked at her and he just pooped, and I'm like, that's awesome. I'm like, I need to go change his diaper now, stuff like that. That's why I was laughing when you were talking about writing things down that distract you, and I'm like, there's some things that I can't write down. I just have to do. But I like that book. I'm gonna get that book and write those down. I thought that was really cool.
Even just for fun ideas that you have all of a sudden, because we're all creative people. I feel like that's just part of this business, and the part that excites us is, we love helping people, but also this empowers us to just be us in our business too, and we all have our own brand and identity. And I think creating our brand is the fun part and the creative part, and we come up with these big ideas of what we want to do. But sometimes we forget to do those basics because we get so excited about certain other things, Is anyone having a hard time setting business hours?
I think my biggest thing is that I sat down right after dinner last night at 7, and I spent the first hour just responding to messages, and then they'd respond back, and then it's people that are really interested in my challenge group that's coming. So I'm like, I can't just wait tomorrow. And then before I know it, I looked up and it was 8:00, and I was like, where the hell did the hour go? And then I was like, well, I have all these other things on my list that I still need to get done. And some of them just never got done because I have to sleep.
No.
And I can't function on small amounts of sleep. It's not possible for me.
So this might sound crazy, but you may have to start prioritizing the interests that people have. You honestly might not be able to respond to everyone immediately, and that's okay. People don't expect you. I think sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to get back to someone right away. But the truth is that if they're really interested in this program, they're going to wait to respond to you, even if it's the next day. And it's okay to say that. Hey, I'm so excited about this challenge group, and I'm getting back to everyone with more information tomorrow. You can expect something in your inbox, or you can expect, it's okay to say that, so that you're making sure that you can get I'm not saying you're going to get everything done on your to-do list, but those top 3 things, you know?
That makes sense.
I think too, Lisa, like and I ran into this problem too, is I figured out I had to schedule that time that I actually did kind of make my response time.
Mm-hmm.
And I scheduled it, and then I found that sometimes I had to be the one to end it too, and kind of be like, okay, like this is what I need to go do now. Feel free to ask me something more. It's almost like taking back the reins a little bit and feeling like it's still a business that you're setting hours, but like you're still being your genuine self and wanting to be there for somebody. So, because I found the same thing, that I would be spending all this time like getting back to people, but then I wasn't being able to like focus in on what I needed to be doing as well. So
I think that's a really great point, because some people will just keep chatting and chatting and chatting, which is awesome. But to your point,
Right.
Karen, like this is a business and we're talking to a lot of people and we have a lot of things to do. So you're right. It's okay to kind of direct the conversation and to bookend it, to, you know, kind of have a follow-up message. Like, this is what's going to happen next, and I'll get back to you, or ask me questions. Otherwise, here's how you order. And I just saw Jude jump on. Hi, Jude. I love Jude. She's the best. So, Cindy, I'm on the other end where people are not answering you back. Are these people that you know well, or are they people that you're just starting to kind of form with? Friends? Well, dang, get on the phone with them. Be like, girl, why are you not getting... Yeah, we always do.
I don't know. Can I just speak on this really quick? Yeah, like, Lindsay has heard me, but like, sometimes friends and family, they suck when it comes to Beachbody. And like, I don't know if anybody else has felt that, but I feel like the people that are like, and they're still like my best of friends, but they're just like, no, Carrie, not right now, or, oh, that's your thing. And I'm just like, I thought we were friends. Like, you're supposed to do what I tell you to do. But friends and family, they're tough. It's almost like they see you doing something that makes them feel uncomfortable, so they just kind of like to sit back and wait and watch and see if you're really going to follow through. But that's like a topic for a whole nother day.
No, and I think actually I think it can be connected, because we were talking about the importance of adding to your network in order to make the best use of your time. Because I have found that some of the people I'm adding to my network that I'm having the most success with are the people that I find are liking my images on my like page or my personal page. Maybe they didn't comment, but they liked it. And so I'll start a conversation with them, even if we're not friends yet, because if your profile is public, people will start liking your pictures, even if you're not friends with them. So I'll add them as a friend. And there's somebody that I never interacted with before, but we just start a conversation and start a relationship. Like, that's why, even in the moment, if you think responding to that friend is the most important thing, it might not be. The best thing for you to be doing is to be doing those vital behaviors, to be adding to your network, to be noticing and taking note of the people who are liking your photos, and to start forming with them, to start connecting with them. Because these are the people that are showing an interest in you. Even if you don't have a solid relationship, they're the ones that are attracted to you. They're the ones that are attracted to what you're doing and what you're putting out into the universe. And so start building a relationship with those people. I'm not saying forget about your friends, but when they're ready, they're going to come to you. They're going to be serious, because you're going to be kicking serious ass, and they're going to want to be a part of it. That's when the friends are going to come on board. And I'm sorry, Logan, if you're in the room and you just heard that, or any other kids.
I think along the way too, you figure out people that just aren't coachable. Like, they're just not ready for it. And you might, I give myself the rule, if I feel like I'm starting